Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. We have more crypto news. In fact, we've got a lot of crypto news and then a little bit of whale alerts, and we'll take a look at the price for XRP at the very end. So let's go ahead and get started. First up, we have 8 million RLUSD that was burned at the Treasury. We also have 2 million RLUSD that was burned at the Treasury. Another 2 million burned at the Treasury. And let's go ahead and move into some news in regards to Bitcoin and Ethereum. So Bitcoin has reclaimed $73,000. Ethereum has gone to $2,250. Bitcoin is now up 10% in the last 8 days, while Ethereum is up 12%. $209 billion has been added to crypto market in the last 8 days. And the UMich Consumer Sentiment Index officials falls to a record low of 47.6. This is for the month of April amid the Iran war. Not even March of 2020 or 2008 saw consumer sentiment levels remotely near as low as they are right now. XRP Ledger is developing XLS 100 smart escrows and could unlock programmable payments on the network. Bitcoin just got 2 new defenses against quantum attacks in the last 48 hours. On April 8th, Lightning Lab CTO Ololawu Osentonkun published a working prototype that solves a critical problem. If Bitcoin ever activates an emergency shutdown of its current security system to block a quantum attack, millions of wallets would have no way to prove ownership and their funds would be locked forever. His tool gives those wallet owners a backup way to prove that they own their funds without triggering the vulnerability that quantum computers would exploit. On April 9th, Starkware CPO Avuhu Levy published a scheme that makes Bitcoin transactions quantum safe today without touching the protocol at all. It works by quietly swapping out the part of Bitcoin security that quantum computers can break and replacing it with a different type of math that they cannot break, all while the transaction still looks completely normal to the Bitcoin network. The catch is cost. Each transaction requires $75 to $150 in computing power and cannot be sent through the normal network. It goes directly to miners instead. It is a last resort tool for large Bitcoin holders, not something for everyday use. Both are emergency measures. The permanent fix, which is BIP 360, is still years away, but 2 weeks after Google showed a quantum computer could crack Bitcoin's encryption in 9 minutes, developers developed 2 working tools in 2 days. Also, U.S. energy inflation soars, up 10.9% in March, the biggest monthly increase since 2005. U.S. gas prices officially post their largest monthly jump in CPI inflation data since 1967. And over in Japan, their 10-year yield hits highest level this century. 35% of Bitcoin's supply is exposed to quantum threats versus just 0.03% of the XRP supply. The Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index is now sitting at 16. This is still in the extreme fear territory. We haven't gotten out of that yet. And the price sitting over $72,000. Now the US CPI data, it came in at 2.6%. This is just shy of the expectation of 2.7%. U.S. energy inflation surged up 10.9% in March 2026 amid the Iran war, making the biggest monthly jump since 2005. This is also being reported by Kobayashi Letter. I did just mention this a little bit ago. Now, also, XRP Ledger is less exposed to quantum threats than Bitcoin. Similar to what I was just mentioning, Japan has officially approved a bill to classify crypto as a financial asset. This is very bullish for markets. And Smoke wants to point out, Ripple does not govern retail prices. The projected price levels were designed for institutional use, making it clear that institutions, not retail demand, will ultimately drive the price of XRP. Over time, if the Ripple protocol becomes widely adopted, demand for XRP may increase, leading to an increase in price. And if you want to go ahead and pause the video and read through this, you're more than welcome to. I'm going to go ahead and continue on with the news. March CPI inflation rises to 3.3%. The expectation was 3.4%. Core CPI inflation rose to 2.6%. The expectation 2.7%. CPI inflation is now up to its highest level since May of 2024 amid the Iran war. Fed rate cuts have been priced out for 2026. And also, reports suggest Ripple is positioning for Fed now, and XRP could speed up payments and cut costs. And then let's go ahead and go over the whale alerts. There's not too many this time. We have $267 million in USDT that was transferred from an unknown wallet over to an unknown wallet. $102.7 million in USDC from Aave to Unknown Whale 1. So this Unknown Whale 1, we've been seeing activity on a daily basis now for the last, I think, maybe 4 days or so. And we weren't really seeing that at all before. So it's something's going on the daily now. Then we have nearly the same amount in USDC from Unknown Whale 1 back to Aave. We have 3,000 Bitcoin, or $215 million worth, went from an unknown wallet to unknown wallet. $255 million in USDT. It went from OKEX over to an unknown wallet. $109.8 million in USDT from OKEX to an unknown wallet. $216 million in Bitcoin from unknown wallet to OKEX. $91 million in Bitcoin from unknown wallet to Coinbase. $166 million in Bitcoin from Coinbase to an unknown wallet. And a few more here. $130 million approximately in USDT from Tether Treasury to Bitfinex. And $97 million in Bitcoin from an unknown wallet over to Coinbase Institutional. And then, oh, this is a new one here. $250 million in USDC minted at the Treasury. Now let's go and take a look at the price movement for XRP. It is up on the day. We did close out green yesterday, but almost flat. At one point, it dropped down to $1.32, went up to a high about $1.37, and then currently we're sitting at around $1.35. So it still needs to try and break above $1.40 psychologically, the Fibonacci retracement. And as of right now, it's making a little bit of movement. Do take note that volume yesterday has gone down. So we had a really high volume on April 7th. Still pretty good amount over on April 8th. April 9th going down. Currently, we're about half the amount of volume for the full day of April 9th. And we're getting ready to go into the weekend here. And normally you see in the weekends that people tend to trade less. It's not always the case, but time over time, a lot of people are waiting to see what happens on Monday when markets open, especially with President Trump being the president now. He puts out different posts that tend to be before market open or before markets close. So that's what I got, guys. You can check me out over on Blue Sky. I'm at Crypto Atlas. We're now at 53 followers. So thank you to my new followers. And also, if you want to show any extra support, you can find me on Patreon. I'm Crypto Atlas there. Or you can become a YouTube member. Thank you guys so much. Be safe. God bless. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.